It's officially 2012, a new year, so why not a new you? And what better way to beautify yourself than to come on over to Bair Medical Spa. And I'm so pleased to be sitting here myself in this beautiful, beautiful location with Dr. Dean Bair himself. It's nice to be in your home today.
Well, thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's so beautiful in here, and it's, it's such a big focus for so many people when we talk about the New Year's. Everybody just wants to look better because, as we always say when you're on the show, when you look better, you feel better. So what ways can Bair Medical Spa help us to look more beautiful in 2012?
One of the best ways to kick off the new year is to look at your skincare products.
Okay.
There are a lot of good products that you can get over the counter, but if you really want to step it up, you really want something that is effective, then you would need prescription, physician grade skincare products, such as you get at a place like Bair Medical Spa.
So as you look at somebody's skin, they come in for a consultation, you're able to say, based on their skin type, because we're all so different, this is the skin regimen, the skincare regimen that I would recommend for you, and you could give us the specific from start to finish?
Absolutely. What we do is bring you in for a complimentary consultation, and we put you under a skin scanner, which a lot of people find very frightening.
Yes, I did.
And it will show us the trouble areas, whether it's hyperpigmentation from too much sun exposure and hormone changes, acne problems, dehydrated skin. That gives us a start, and then we can start looking at the different components that may be appropriate for your skin type.
Okay. Well, you said, it's funny, you mentioned two things. You mentioned sun damage and you mentioned dehydration. And I would imagine, being where we live with as much sun as we get and as dry as it is, that those have to be two really prevalent issues for New Mexicans, yes?
It surely is. We're at 5,000 feet, get a lot of sun, and we're in the desert. So it's a double whammy.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of, sun, there's obviously a need for the right sunscreen. Now, a lot of these products, do they all have that sunscreen in them? Do they have, because I get confused the difference between sunscreen and sunblock.
Okay. There are a lot of products that incorporate some sunscreens in them. Typically, they're very low SPF, so they're not going to give you enough protection. But a sunblock versus sunscreen. Sunblock physically reflects the light rays back, so they never get the opportunity to penetrate your skin.
Oh, okay.
And sunscreens are chemical sunscreens that change the light once it gets into the skin, and that's not as good.
Okay, now, of course, when we talk about SPF, we've talked about it a little bit before, but what's the minimum as far as what we see SPF 15, SPF 30, 50, whatever. Is there a minimum where we should be at?
For most people here in New Mexico, you should use a 30, 35, just for everyday use. Even in January, when people think, oh, it's not sunny, it's not summer, I don't need sunblock. Absolutely you do. Just walking out to the mailbox, you get significant amount of sun.
Really? Driving,
surprisingly, you get a lot. In fact, we see more sun damage on the left side of people's faces because of driving.
That makes sense. And so even with the sunroofs, and I thought that was interesting because, I went to Florida for Christmas break and I was in the heat, I was in the sun, and I came back and I thought, well, I don't have to worry about sunscreen. It's January in New Mexico. But that's a really good point I'm glad you made. So basically, when people put on their morning skincare, whether it be their toner, their moisturizer, is there any one specific product that you recommend that's especially good for the sun damage protection?
There's two lines that we carry. One is the Abaji skincare line and my own Bair skincare. You want exfoliants because you want to get rid of some of that dead skin. That's going to make your skin look brighter, as well as it's going to allow the other components to penetrate. Hydroquinone products that decrease the activity of those pigment cells. Retin A, still, it is a very, very good product for those that can tolerate it. And then moisturizers, and I particularly like moisturizers that have peptides in them, which also enhance the turnover and production of collagen in new skin cells.
Peptides.
Peptides.
Okay, keeping it peppy.
Yeah.
That's an easy way to remember it. And so those are in the moisturizers then?
Yes.
So now, is there a basic rule of thumb? I mean, do you do exfoliate, then cleanse, then tone, then moisture? I mean, is there a certain pattern we should be following with the skincare line?
Typically, there is an order for doing these.
Okay.
So you cleanse, obviously.
Sure.
Some people need a toner just to reestablish the pH balance.
Okay.
And then your moisturizers that contain things like vitamin C or the hydroquinone. Moisturizer if you need additional moisturizer, and then your sunblock makeup. That's morning.
So that's just morning.
That's morning.
Yeah, now you got to go to bed at night and do it all over again, right? And that's a different pattern.
At night, usually, and it depends, your Bachi skincare system, typically they have you exfoliate in the morning. I like exfoliating at night.
Yes, me too, actually.
And then tretinoin or the vitamin retin-A in the evening, and your moisturizer.
So it's really so important. I mean, a lot of times people just splash water, put a little soap on their face, they wash it, and they think that's enough, and it's not. It really
soap.
is not.
No, no, no.
No, it is not. I mean, and you need the right cleansers, but even moisturizers, even for people, and I'm just going to address something that I know a lot of people will, before we go, will be questioning right now. Well, what if I have oily skin? Maybe I shy away from moisturizer. I know a lot of people have said that. So what do you recommend to that?
There are light moisturizers, and the skincare lines are address either dry to normal or oily skin. So we can customize for skin types, whether dry, oily, dehydrated, pigment, acne. We address that when you come in for a consultation.
And when the cameras go off, you can tell me exactly what I need to use, because I always trust your opinion, and you're always right, I have to say. I'm so happy we got to talk. I think that everybody out there is ready for a new year and a new you, and thank you for helping us all beautify.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.